welcome back. It's been a while, about a month. Been a little busy, but anyway, it's time, once again, bringing you those options, bringing you those frustrations to your RPG table. The audible slap, the incidental pause, the evident facepalm. So, today, I'm going to go over the Kasatha. Iron Gods is right on the doorstep here. It's about to unveil. And People of the Stars, the player companion book, is due to come out as well. So, the Kasatha. When you talk about Numaria, the descriptions of the barbaric lands and super science, a little bit of a John Carter sort of feel to it comes to mind. I look at that Kasatha, I want it to be a Thark. If you're familiar with the John Carter series, the numerous books, I see this Kasatha, I want it to be a Thark. So I made my own little version here, so if you're interested, stay tuned, I can go over that. But the Kasatha, sorry if the pronunciation sucks, but I saw him in the Advanced Race Guide, and it was a example given for races that you could make yourself. And then finally they made a very solid glimmer of a appearance in Bestiary 4. So they have their own entry in there as a official Bestiary page, and then with the option to play them as a playable race. And even the features of it, the look of it, the distinct traits, I can't get the Thark out of my head. So I made my own. Of course, I'll call them Kasatha, but with parentheses of Thark. And what I did was, the racial point cost is exactly the same. They are 20 racial points, especially according to what is in the book here for how they're built. Mine is also 20 racial points, but I changed a few things on here. Instead of the flexible ability score modifier, I went with the standard. The Kasatha have +2 to Dex, +2 to Wisdom. I changed that. Mine is +2 to Dex, -2 to Intelligence, and a +2 to Wisdom. Going with the Tharks, they are illiterate, they cannot read, they're very clannish, very secretive, but do not mesh with the other people. So, and of course, words and symbols, I guess, would be taboo. So we got the Thark with those sorts, those kind of traits. And what else did I do? Okay, so now we have 2 extra points to play with. So since the standard ability cost is 0, so what I did was I went with Fearless. A Thark smiles in the face of death, gaining a +2 racial bonus on all saving throws against fear effects. Very hardy, very strong. Smile in the face of death. And then I have 1 point left. So I went with Warhoon Weaponry. Tharks are proficient with the scimitar and musket or Warhoon sling. So I thought that is very evident, especially if you're familiar with the movie. You know, they have the muskets and then they have the curved blades, so I would think scimitar would be a good choice. And then, you know, as far as the firearms, it's early weaponry, so early black powder use. So you don't have to worry about the futuristic of sorts. Of course, without talking about the technology guide as of yet. But anyway, as far as early firearms making their appearance, that I would think that would be something you would see in Numaria, besides the scientific fantasy things that you would start to see from the Technic League and other things that came from the Silvermount or other areas in the surrounding Numaria lands. But so we got the musket, and if you didn't want to go with the musket, then you could go with the Warhoon sling. Well, what is that? Well, I saw an interesting picture online of the Warhoon sling weapon, and think of like some nunchucks, but with like a third third stick attached. And in the middle of that chain or that rope, you would have that sling object. And with it being 3-armed sling, the throwing power would be 3 times greater, proliferating the time of its forced throw. So I made my own version of that, which would be an exotic weapon, but for Tharks it would not be. It would be a proficiency that they gain for free. Being medium size, 1d8 damage, with a critical multiplier of ×3, range 150 feet, bludgeoning weapon. So I think the price for it should be around 20 gold pieces. Due to its extra arm design requirement, 2 arm wielders would suffer a -8 penalty on their attack rolls trying to use it. Probably end up getting smacked by the bar that they do not grab, or if they were trying to put 2 bars in one hand and the other bar in the other. So there's that. But they came out to the same cost there. So for the upcoming Iron Gods, if you're going to have more of a John Carter feel to it, especially since this is a alien race, such as with the Kasatha, they come from another world that circles a red star. So this feels very familiar to the Thark. The only complaints or criticisms I would expect to receive is, why is it medium size? Just going off of the sort of blend of merging the Thark and the Kasatha in one. If you actually want to do an actual version of the Thark, keep in mind low gravity worlds. You might have some problems with that. Trying to interpret that. The Thark would probably have a much harder time surviving on this world, given the low gravity that it's used to. And probably the bones and such would be harder, denser. But I think the Thark is I think it's supposed to be huge in size. So unless you want to make them large. So that's what I got for this. And hopefully when I see People with Stars, we'll have a better, maybe more inspiration, maybe more options as far as alternate racial traits or race traits, such as things being combat or social, that would add to this. But for right now, thinking of something Tharkish with the Kasatha in mind. Here's my version to it. So this will be a very, very short video, but anyway, I'll post the stats for this along with the weapon, and hopefully it suits your game, or if anything, you can build off of it. Alright, see ya.